Hello guys, this is Candy here. Welcome to Fedha Busara, the YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me here. Today we are in part 2 of our Money in Our 20s series. Today we'll be talking about building wealth in our 20s. I hope you have watched episode 1, and if you have not watched episode 1, it's on the link below where you can go and learn the money mistakes to avoid in our 20s. Thank you, and like, share and subscribe to the channel. Episode 2, we are talking about building wealth in our 20s. That is building wealth in our 20s. So we are going to start with the first point, which is making your budget. Making your budget is very important, since a budget is able to help you tell your money where to go instead of asking, where did my money go? So you need to have a plan on how you are going to allocate your money to cater for your needs and for all your expenses. You need to allocate money to cater for your needs, which are rent, food, and also your wants, which are a new piece of clothes, eating out, and also setting aside money for investing. So the simple budgeting tool that you can be able to use, we can use the 50, 30, 20 rule. How do we go about it? So 50% you cater it towards your needs, 30% you cater it towards your wants, which are things like eating out, buying that new clothes, buying that new shoe, and 20% we set it aside for savings and investing. This is the easiest way that you can be able to utilize to be able to manage your money as a beginner. Let's be able to work on this. You know our needs. These are things like food or rent, food, rent, and transportation to work. Wants, they may be something like going out, clothes. These are wants. And then our savings and investing, we can put aside money in SACCOs, in emergency fund, or MMF. So these are the ways that we can be able to start making use of our budget. Another way we can be able to utilize the budget, we can use online apps. If you go to Play Store, if you go to App Store, these apps are there. You just have to search for the word budget, and you're going to get the apps which are going to help you be able to manage your finances. Another way you can use is tracking your expenses. You need to track your expenses. You need to know where each and every shilling that you are earning is going. You need to track your expenses. You need to know that in the morning I woke up with 1,000 shilling. I was able to use X sum amount of money for transport. I bought X sum amount of money for lunch. I was able to use this to buy this particular thing, so that you also are very accountable to where each and every piece of your income is going. Number two, it's pay yourself first. You should pay yourself first. Remember, every day you wake up in the morning and you go to your work. You go to work or you go and open your business. You're putting in the effort. So you should be the primary person who is enjoying your sweat. Ama namna gani? So in paying yourself first, let me give you a scenario. If you earn a salary, maybe you earn a salary, I'll use the figure 30,000. This 30,000, you'll pay 4,000 to rent. You will use maybe 3,000 for food and shopping. You'll use some of money for transport. You'll send money to your parents. You will send money for school fees for your children. So in that scenario, you'll find that money is just going out. It's just going out. You received the 30,000, but then you have just been giving out the money to everybody else. Not forgetting, you're also paying tax to the government. Are we together? Yes. So if this money is going out, what is remaining for yourself? That's why we are saying you should pay yourself first. And how do I pay myself first? I pay myself first by deciding I'll set aside 10 to 20% of my income as payment to myself. I'm going to set aside that 10 to 20% of money which I'll be paying for myself. So if I have 30,000, if we are working with 10%, then it means I'll set aside 3,000 to 6,000 as amount of money that I'll pay myself. And one thing, the money that you're setting aside to pay yourself, this money must be invested in an account that is earning you interests. So we go to number 3. Number 3 is having an emergency fund. You need to have an emergency fund. And as I stated in the previous video, if you have not watched, kindly go and watch it on the money mistakes that we make in our 20s. You should have an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Every day it may throw on you a curveball. So you need to have money set aside to be able to help you cater for anything that is upcoming every day. So you should have money for an emergency fund. And how do we set aside money for an emergency fund? Money for an emergency fund, you should have 3 to 6 months of your expenses set aside. So if I know in a month I spend 25,000 for my personal expenses, then it means my emergency fund should have between 75,000 to 150,000 set aside to cater for my emergencies. And the money for the emergency fund, kindly open a separate account. Ideally, I would recommend opening in an account in an MMF, in a money market, since this money will still be working for you even if you have set it aside for emergency, so that the money in the MMF will be earning you interest, and also you can easily access it in the case of an emergency. We are going to go to number 4.